We can say that the Earth was one day a paradise for dinosaurs at the time of dinosaurs, also 66 million years ago. They were the owners of the land, and all kinds of food could be found for them on the land. But suddenly everything changed. A very huge meteorite turned towards the Earth. The meteorite is coming towards the Earth quickly, but the inhabitants of the Earth were at the peak of ignorance. Scientists say that the diameter of this meteorite was up to 80 kilometers. It means something the size of a big city. When this stone reached the ground, it was so big that it was located where airplanes fly today. The impact of this stone created a large valley that is underwater. The diameter of the hole created on the bottom of the Gulf of Mexico is 150 kilometers. Its depth is 20 kilometers. Many meteorites have hit the Earth, but this was one of the biggest. After this blow, the world collapsed in that second. The floods rose and moved everywhere. Scientists say that the height of these waves reaches up to 1.5 kilometers. These giant waves destroyed the land around them for 10 hours. But this was not the height of the disaster. The explosion produced by this strike was 100 times more powerful than Russian Tsar bomb, which is the world's most powerful nuclear bomb ever tested. The forests that were within a radius of 1,000 kilometers of this impact, after the waters receded, caught fire. The world had turned into hell. In the same situation, a 10-root earthquake is going on. This earthquake was so strong that the mountains started to fall in the southernmost parts of Argentina. What we described is only the first hours of the disaster. Animals and plants were destroyed within a 1,500 kilometers radius of this impact. The animals that were outside this radius of 1,500 kilometers also perished. When this giant meteorite hit the ground, it was broken into pieces, and these pieces returned to the sky. The impact was so strong that some of these fragments reached the Earth's atmosphere. 40 minutes after the impact, all the fragments of this meteorite were like a firebomb raining on the ground. No animal had an escape route. This has been proven because all the pieces of this meteorite have been found all around the Earth. These fiery bombs created a fire wherever they hit the ground, and the installation almost turned from the world into hell. The dinosaurs were almost destroyed, and the few that survived 2 hours after the impact were dead one by the effects of these burning fires and the resulting heat. At that time, most of the world was covered with forest and fire was spreading everywhere. In the first 2 hours, 75% of animals and plants perished, and the animals that weighed more than 25 kilos were not able to continue living, and all of them were destroyed. The armor that this blow raised covered the entire Earth in the air and the smoke from the huge fires, and did not allow the sunlight to reach the Earth. This situation continued for a year, and there was no sunshine. The few flowers and plants that were left all died. This situation caused acid rains, and these rains made the animals in the seas unable to survive. Many of them died, but some remained. The biggest of them were turtles and crocodiles that could survive in the water. In general, the survival of animals both on land and in water is a big question for scientists. Scientists say how these animals can survive in this global conditions. After a year, the smoke disappeared and the sun appeared again, but the land was no longer the old land. All the forests had turned into dry deserts. When the sun came, the soil breathed, and the first plants that grew were ferns. In this 1 year, no food was found on the land of the Earth. That's why land animals had perished, and only a limited number of animals under 600 grams survived. This state of animals continued for 100,000 years, until finally after this period the animals became a bit bigger, and the biggest of them was almost the size of a small dog. In these 100,000 years, the condition of flowers and plants had improved a little. That's why life was returning to the Earth. After 200,000 years from that explosion, betta plants grew on Earth that could create life, such as arrowroot, which is a type of wild walnut. Currently, it is abundant in North America. This wild walnut caused the diversity of animals to triple. The weight of the largest animals reached 25 kilos. But an Earth miracle happened after 700,000 years. A wild bean started growing all over the Earth. The most important pillar of animal evolution were these beans, because it is rich in protein. In addition to increasing the diversity of animals, this miracle also increased their weight and size. The largest animals reached 50 kilos, which is the size of a cheetah. This evolution of animals in 700,000 years, when the weight of animals increased from 600 grams to 50 kilos, has aroused the admiration of scientists. Because scientists say 700,000 years is too little for this speed of evolution, but the oceans were slowly returning to their normal state. Scientists say it took 3 million years for the ocean to return to normal. Dinosaurs are not completely extinct. Small birds are their remains. These birds are the only survivors of the dinosaurs, and these are the only remnants of those giant animals. Many scientists believe that the survival of these birds is due to the fact that they could build nests for themselves, and this is what caused their survival. Another reason for their survival is the absence of humans, because if there were humans, they would eat them all. Humans came 60 million years after, and they took over the land that belonged to the animals and exterminated them one by one.